Hi everybody, this is Carrie Scroggins. How are you doing? I hope you're feeling well. I wanted to stop in today. I haven't made an RSD video in quite a while, and I wanted to come back in today as I was just at my pain doctor yesterday. And I wanted to give you some updated information. I had mentioned to you once before, I think a couple of times before maybe actually, that I was going to be doing an interview with my pain doctor, and that's definitely going to be happening. We are hoping to schedule that sometime in August is what the plan is, and I'm very excited for that interview. My pain specialist is a very young doctor. I've been seeing him for about a year. He took over the pain pump filling and that sort of thing from his dad, who started the practice many years ago, and I was very fortunate enough to know one of the girls that had been in his office for many years, and we went to high school together. So she was able to get me into his clinic as a patient who already had an implanted pump, and that is a very tricky circumstance. A lot of these pain doctors don't want to accept you as a new patient if you already have an implanted pain pump. They don't want to assume the responsibility of the pump that's already implanted. And so for me, my doctor was 4 hours north of where we moved to 6 years ago, and so I was driving back and forth between the cities, and I just couldn't do it any longer. And so I was very fortunate enough to find my friend, and she was able to talk to him, and he accepted me as a patient, thank goodness. And so I saw him for about 4 years, and then his son took over my particular care because my pump is implanted extremely deep, and so when I have my implant filled, they have to use X-ray fluoroscope to make sure that they can find it and then successfully remove old medication and replace with new medication. And so for me, you just couldn't go into the office and have it filled. Had to use an X-ray machine. So I went to the doctor yesterday and was very disturbed and sad to hear that the doctor that I had seen for 4 years had passed away just this May. And I knew that he had not been well, but I did not know that he had been fighting a battle with cancer. And unfortunately, he did not win that battle, and he passed away in May. And so it was a very out of the left field for me to find this out, and I was extremely sad to hear that he passed away. And it just proves that you can never take tomorrow for granted. Then I also found out this week that there was a young girl that lived on the East Coast somewhere that had actually committed suicide from RSD. And so I just hate to hear that happens. I hate to hear that somebody ever gets to the point where they have to take their life to get away from the suffering of this disease. So I wanted to come in today and just talk to you a little bit about how you were feeling and how I'm doing, give you an update. My RSD is doing extremely well. I am just feeling remarkably better since I went on my weight loss journey, which started last December, and I'm down almost 70 pounds in that 7 months, and 6 months, 6.5 months, I guess. And it just made a substantial difference in the pain levels that I have in my feet from my RSD, because obviously it's just common, makes a lot of sense that if you remove the weight problem, you're going to help with the pain that you would feel because of the extra weight that you carry around. So that was a really smart decision of mine, and one that my pain specialist and I really talked about prior to doing it, and he agreed and felt that I would see some pretty substantial improvement. I don't know that either one of us actually expected that I would have such improvement. You know, unfortunately, there is no cure for this disease, and so I would never be in a position that I could then go and ask him to take out my pump, because he would not do that for the fear that I would then have some spreading of the disease to the area where the pump is, and it's just too big of a risk when I'm so stable to do that. If we get to the point where I don't feel like I need medication at all, and I'm not there yet, then we would have to have a conversation about what do we do with the pump, and because we have to keep it going for fear that it would come back somewhere, and I wouldn't want to have to go through the whole process again. So, you know, I'm doing really well with my RSD. You know, it's an ongoing battle though. I still have those days where I do too much, and then I you know, I come in at night and I've got feet that look like they're 9 different colors, and you know, the pain and the burning and all of that, it's still there. So I know that I'm doing really well, but I know that really with this disease it could swing around and change on me pretty quickly. So I don't want to take it for granted. So I just have to continue to do the things that I'm doing. You know, I would really like to hear from any of you that have gone through your processing and have had your symptoms greatly reduced, and then were you able to keep the your symptoms at bay, or did they come back, and what triggered them to come back? So it would really be, I'd love to get some feedback from you. If you've been able to eliminate the majority of your symptoms, how long you've had them at bay, and then if they came back, how quickly they came back, and what did you do to keep all of those RSD symptoms at bay. That would be really interesting for me, because I would like to, I'm not finding any information about people who have reduced symptoms and how long they stay that way. So I'd be really interested in some feedback if you've experienced that like I've experienced here recently. I would also very much love to hear from you, and I will probably figure out a way to get some sort of questionnaire out. I'll probably come back at some point to this video and link a question sheet to it, because I would really love some input on what you would like to know from my pain specialist in this interview. I would really love to hear from you and get your feedback if there's areas that, one, you're struggling with your own doctor, or two, if you just feel like you need some more information. One of the things that he's going to be doing is talking about all of the current treatment options and what they are. He's also going to be talking about the Medicare decision that happened at the first of the year with the anesthesia, and how that can affect you and how that can affect your pocketbook. If you don't know, Medicare has made a decision that they are no longer going to pay for any sedation, which means if you have pain procedures like sympathetic blocks or those sorts of things, you now have to do them with no anesthesia. And in my mind, that's barbaric. And I've had that before, and I will never do it again without anesthesia. I just think that it's too much. And I think it does ultimately affect and influence the symptoms that we feel from our RSD. So he's going to be talking a little bit about that. He's going to be talking about what's not working with RSD, tests and procedures, and all of the scope of the RSD treatment plans that are currently being used here in the United States. I know he also works with ketamine, so I want to talk to him about that and what his plans are to expand that sort of treatment. Just everything that we as patients need to know is on the table with him. And so I would very, very much like some feedback. If you would take just a few minutes to take the questionnaire that's going to be linked at this video, and then any subsequent video between now and the time that we have the interview, and then get it back to me. And I will also include an email address where you can get that back to me, so I can accumulate all these questions and then take them with me when we do the interview. And the interview is going to be taped as well, so I'll be able to put it on my YouTube channel. You know, my YouTube channel has expanded its content, and it is now, it's all about what we need as humans, females, males, what we all need to live our lives and live them the best we can, and to live them successfully. What does it take to live successfully? And so my channel talks about a whole bunch of different things, not just RSD. We talk about my businesses, and we talk about life experiences. I have 40 years as a career person, as a mom, as a wife, as a grandmother, sister, daughter, all those types of things. And so I really would love this channel to be an outlet to give back to people that have some of the similar situations. Either they're a business owner, or they're an insurance agent like I am, they're a sufferer of RSD, and they're an entrepreneur. I'm also doing makeup, so it's a whole wide range of topics that we talk about now on this channel. And I'm all over social media, including TikTok. So I really would love to hear back from you. So if you'd give it some thought and maybe send in some of these questions that you have, and I will accumulate them all. And then when I talk to the doctor, I will make sure that we reference the question, so you know that it is something that you had asked me for. So that's really it for today. I mean, I'm doing really well. I hope you are doing really well. It is an extremely hot summer in the United States. I have friends all over the world, and I don't know if it's hot where they are, but it's miserably hot where I am, which is near the Houston area in Texas. So if you are in the summer season, I hope you're being very careful. It is extremely hot, hot enough to have heat warnings. Make sure you're drinking lots of fluids. Make sure you stay out of the sun between 10 and 4, and rest to intervals, especially if you suffer with RSD and you're out in the heat. You have to be extremely careful of your nervous system. Make sure that you're taking time to rest, and that you're drinking plenty of fluids. So thank you for stopping by. Thank you for your support. It is so very much appreciated. If you would like and comment on this video, I would so also appreciate that. And if you would, make sure you hit that bell so you know the next time that I post a video on my channel. And I do repost them on all of my different social media outlets to try to get as much information out to you as possible. And I do very much look forward to hearing from you. I really sincerely mean that. I do want to hear back from you. So I will put together a question sheet, and I will link it to this video, and then I'll also link it into subsequent videos so you have them, and then give you an email address to send that back to me. And then I will announce when our interview is going to be sometime in August. So have a blessed day. It's Friday, TGIF. I hope you have a wonderful weekend wherever you are. Please take good care of yourself. We don't have anything in life if we don't have our health. We can't be anything to anybody if we're not healthy. And so that needs to be our #1 priority. So I will see you in my next video. God bless you. Take care of yourself. And I hope you have a very good weekend. Bye-bye.